It's a great pleasure to introduce Dr. Bevan Morris. Dr. Morris is the president of Maharishi University of Management in the United States and is also the prime minister of the Global Country of World Peace, the organization established by Maharishi to offer his programs to the world. Dr. Morris has a most distinguished history of working with Maharishi over almost 40 years to bring forth all his programs for the world. And it's a great pleasure to hear from Dr. Morris.
Maharaj Adhiraj Rajaram, distinguished presidents of the organizing foundations and representatives of the government of India, and all the speakers and all the delegates to this really wonderful conference. His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who came out to the world from Uttarkashi, the Valley of the Saints in the Himalayas, and more than anyone in world history, brought the complete knowledge of AyurVeda to all parts of the world. He brought, as he says in this book, Maharishi Forum of Natural Law and National Law for Doctors, a system, a prevention-oriented, comprehensive, natural law-based, all-enriching system of perfect health. Maharishi was the beloved disciple of the legendary sage, Gurudev Brahmananda Saraswati, Jagadguru Shankaracharya of Jyotirmat in the Himalayas. Under the grace of Gurudev, the freedom of India dawned. Here, the first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, is having the darshan of Gurudev, Maharishi's master. Very rapidly, under the tutelage of Gurudev, Maharishi attained Brahmi Chaitana, unity consciousness, that eternal continuum of bliss, the seventh state of human consciousness, characterized by neha nanasti kinchana, consciousness alone is. And in his unity consciousness, Maharishi found the whole Veda laid out as the self-interacting dynamics of his own self, and found Veda is actually the constitution of the universe, not a human creation. Veda is nitya, eternal, and aparushaya, uncreated by the human mind. Maharishi found that the Vedic literature had become scattered in India, and he reorganized the whole structure of all 40 aspects of Veda and Vedic literature, beginning with Rig Veda and ending in the Pratishakyas, in a perfect sequence, unfolding the totality of natural law responsible for the ever-expanding galactic universe, according to the three-in-one structure of the infinite field of consciousness, the Samhita of Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. And 9 of these 40 systems concern AyurVeda. Maharishi also was able to illuminate the reality of AyurVeda and the whole Vedic literature because of his level of consciousness, unity consciousness. Maharishi said there are 3 ways of looking at the meaning of the Veda. Adhyatma, from the perspective of Atma, the self, the unbounded ocean of consciousness. Adhidaiva, from the level of the intelligences that run the universe, the subtle intelligences. And from the Adhibhuta level, from the gross physical level of interpretation of the Vedic texts. Because of Maharishi's supreme enlightenment, he was able to bring forth the total meaning of Ved and AyurVeda from all these three levels simultaneously. Maharishi, from when he first began to teach, he was inspired by the exhortation of Rig Veda about the human race. Amritasya Putra. O sons of immortality, this is the reality of the world. And also by the expression in Charak, AyurVeda Amritanam, that AyurVeda is for those who desire immortality. AyurVeda, the Veda knowledge of Ayu, of life or lifespan, but lifespan stretching up to the infinite, to the immortal. Maharishi also located in Charak the one-word description of all cause of disease and suffering, pragya parad, the mistake of the intellect. And the mistake is, it forgot Atma, it forgot its unboundedness, and therefore came into suffering. Therefore, Maharishi also brought out the reality of health in one word in the Vedic tradition is swasthya. It means establishment in the self. So health is enlightenment, and enlightenment is health. Atma must be experienced by every patient of every Vaidya and every doctor in the world. They must live on that level of the unbounded ocean of consciousness, where the immortal, eternal wholeness of natural law is ever vibrant, the Veda. So transcendental meditation, such a simple, natural method of experiencing Atma, the self. Every patient should be advised by their doctor to experience it. And every student in every school in the world must experience their own self. Lord Krishna recommends this to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Nistray gunyo bhav Arjuna. Be without the three gunas, O Arjuna, established in the self. And then yogastaha kuru karmani, established in yoga, established in the self, perform action. And Arjuna gets the message by the end of Bhagavad Gita. He says to Lord Krishna, Smritiya labdha, I have regained memory of my own self. So Bhagavad Gita could be understood as Arjuna eliminating pragya parad from his existence. And this is what everyone must do to be healthy. The studies of science have shown that the transcendental meditation technique produces unique brain waves. Concentration meditation, or focused attention, produces fast brain waves. Contemplation meditation, or open monitoring, produces very slow brain waves. But both of these are just normal kinds of brain waves. Whereas transcendental meditation, which allows the mind to settle spontaneously down into the inner silence, the treasure house that is within every human being, produces unique brain waves, alpha waves with very high coherence, indicating the use of the holistic brain. And Dr. Wallace is the great expert in this. When education has failed to give this experience, partial education, it leads to only parts of the brain being developed. It leaves functional lesions in the brain for all the children as they grow up. And the result is they do all those wrong things that we've been hearing about that cause sickness. Whereas holistic use of the brain by the children, they will automatically function in harmony with the laws of nature. And they should also learn the yogic flying practice, that blissful method that integrates mind and body more than any other technique in the world, as performed in the Golden Domes at Maharishi University of Management in USA. One of the very interesting things that is said in Sushrut is a description of perfect health in terms of balance of the doshas. You see it written there. But also, the final part of Sushrut's description of health is the self, mind, and senses remain full of bliss. That is a healthy person. So for that, everyone must transcend, and this is the core of any healthcare system that will work for the human race. Maharishi also has guided Maharaj Adhiraj Rajaram to find the scientific reality of Vedoham, I am the Ved. And he has done it par excellence and shown that every human being has the total intelligence of the universe functioning in their total physiology, in their brain, in their cells, in their DNA. And not only that, but he shows here the Ramayan in the human physiology. He has shown all the devatas in the human physiology, all the avatars in the human physiology, and he has shown also that every human physiology has the whole universe within it. That is what we are. And this is health, to live on this level. I am the Ved. This is the reality of health, swasthya, in unity consciousness. The Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, is fully aware of Maharaja's discovery. Here he is studying the book of Maharaja, Human Physiology, Expression of Veda and Vedic Literature. Maharishi's great contribution also has been to highlight the weaknesses of modern medicine. And these are lack of prevention, harmful side effects of modern medicine, including death, increasing prevalence of chronic disease, and spiraling costs. So this is the high heap of articles describing, scientific research articles describing the hazards of modern medicine, the injury, the creation of new disease, and sickness, and even death. And this high heap of hazards of modern medicine is ever growing higher. Maharishi also brought out to the world the theme that prevention of disease, that is the ultimate responsibility of all the medical professionals in the world and all the governments. According to the principle of Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, Heyam Dukam Anagatam. Avert the danger that has not yet come. Maharishi also was the first to bring out the need for scientific research on AyurVeda and on all the Vedic technologies. 7 volumes of collected papers that you see here, as we've heard, over 600 articles showing the incredible effectiveness of the Vedic approach in improving health. Hospitalization less, outpatient visits less. Maharishi also, working with Rajvaidya, Brihaspati Dev Trigunaji particularly, has brought out the need for Nadi Vigyan, pulse diagnosis, including self-pulse reading to detect imbalances before disease arises. He has also established the very pure system of panchakarma, of purification of the human physiology through the 5 methods of panchakarma. And as we've heard, so many things Maharishi attended to and brought out, yoga for health, yoga asana, to all of these things to balance the physiology, purify the physiology, and come to live on the level of swasthya, of enlightenment, of true health. Yoga asana, pranayama, self-pulse reading, Maharishi Vedic vibration therapy, Maharishi Vedic sound therapy, the model of Veda in human physiology, Maharishi aromatherapy, Maharishi light therapy with gems, Maharishi Gandharva Ved, Rasayana, all the Vedic herbal preparations, proper daily and seasonal routine, proper diet, also behavioral rasayanas. And with diet, Maharishi emphasized on the need for different agriculture, Maharishi Vedic organic agriculture, free of poisons, but with the influence of the Vedic sounds, the sounds of eternal natural law vibrating in the unified field, as it's called in physics. So good food is essential for good health. Also, Maharishi emphasized the effect of house on us, and office and school, Vedic architecture. Enlightenment is health, and it says in the text of Manasar, you see here, for those who desire enlightenment, a building facing due east is preferred. Therefore, every doctor and every Vaidya in the world should be seeing patients in an east-facing Vastu building, living in one, and prescribing to all their patients to get out of health-damaging buildings and into good buildings that are health-producing. This is one of such building in Maharishi Vedic City in Iowa, the home of Maharishi AyurVeda products in the United States. And I wanted to show you this, that just 20 kilometers from here, a building that violated every known law of Vastu and was therefore ripe for destruction is being demolished as we speak. 3/4 of that above the ground is now down. And this will be replaced by such beautiful buildings as this that was completed last summer. And the whole campus is going to look like this, a complete Vastu international capital where Maharishi lived for 18 years in this particular place. His house is on the right in the front there. And so this is one example of this reconstruction of a healthy world with healthy housing. Maharishi also emphasized the importance of distant environment on us. We perform actions and they come back to us rebounding from the universe, and these can be positive and they can be negative. So we have to do something to know what is coming in the future. And this is a system Maharishi enlivened called Jyotish, the Vedic astrology. And here we see that actually, according to Maharaja's discovery, the whole solar system, and in fact all the constellations, the whole galactic universe, is connected to our brain. Our brain has these cosmic counterparts. And so through that, there is an influence created for us that may be positive, may be negative. To eliminate the negative influences, there is a Vedic technology that Maharishi revived, both for persons and for nations, called Yagya. And here are the Vedic Pandits, Maharishi Vedic Pandits in India, at the Brahmastan of India. They are all yogic flyers as well, so they are performing the Ved from within the field of deep silence, and they are able to hit the target thousands of miles away to prevent a disaster in health for anyone who needs that help. Also, the effect of such groups is collective health. And Maharishi's goal, 16,000 yogic flying Vedic Pandits at the center of India, to create worldwide coherence and harmony with natural law, to reduce and eliminate the suffering of the world and disease in the world. According to the principle of Yoga Sutra, Tat Sanidao Varet Yagaha, in the vicinity of coherence of yoga, hostile tendencies are eliminated. And such groups have been established, for example, here at Maharishi University of Management, 1983-4, large enough to prove that the whole world can be changed for its collective health by these individuals. Here is Maharishi there with them. And so many studies to show reduction of accidents, fires, and sickness of all kind, and increased peace and prosperity wherever this Vedic technology of health is taken up. Finally, what is needed, as Dr. Pisha mentioned, is the establishment everywhere in the world of Maharishi health centers for integrated medicine, to train all the young doctors of the world, all the Vaidyas, in this comprehensive, total, prevention-oriented, side-effect-free, natural system of medicine that Maharishi brought out fully and completely from the Veda as he experienced it in his unity consciousness. And all the children should learn not only transcending, they should learn post-diagnosis, they should learn proper diet and routine. So we need professors of this and teachers of this for every school in the entire world. So this is vitally needed. The great conference that happened in India recently to re-establish ideal Vedic India was really an incredible experience for all of us who were there, and to experience the liveliness of the government of India now to use Vedic knowledge as scientific knowledge to re-establish India as the lighthouse of the world and heaven on earth as a guide to all the nations of the world. Here Maharaja with many great swamis who were there. Articles have come out showing the great significance of Vedic knowledge for the world. So Maharishi is so beautifully inspired the world. He is always living throughout his life naturally, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is my family. He cared so deeply that no human being should suffer anywhere in the world. And he always gave all the credit to his teacher in the words here, Yasya nishvashitam veda yo vedebhyo kilam jagat nirmame tamaham vande vidya tirtha maheshvaram. I bow down to him who breathes out the Veda and creates the universe from it, remaining uninvolved, and who is the cherished shrine of pilgrimage for all the streams of knowledge. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, Dr. Morris.